Now, welcome to Babaji Ka Gyan or welcome to Ask MBA. Now, I also run a podcast by a funny name, Babaji Ka Gyan. And also now I'm posting this video on YouTube of Ask MBA. Now, as the title is suggesting you that how you can score great by keeping things simple, by not worrying about this stuff. And I'm going to give you an honest idea and I'm going to give you the pointers which will help you to get that. So if you are someone who feels that it takes immense amount of time, pressure, and you need to invest a lot of time, hard work to get a decent score in MBA entrance exam. Now guys, you are highly mistaken. And in fact, in today's podcast, I'm going to talk about things which will help you to clarify these illusions or come out of these misconceptions and also going to help you to score good. Now, whenever a student imagines to be in a great B school like IIMs, IITs, now yes, IITs also give IIM, MBA. So they feel that they need to crack an entrance exam, and yes, they have to crack an entrance exam. And whenever we speak of an entrance examination, the name CAT comes into our head. GMAT, GRE, CET, there are so many entrance exams. With the name of the examination, one perception comes into our mind. And that perception is that we need to study 4 hours daily, 3 hours daily. We need to be good in quant. We need to be wow in verbal. And we need to keep check on our daily schedule. We need to do this. We need to do that. There is a lot of information and data available online, and then on top of it there are certain YouTube channels. I also run a YouTube channel and also a podcast, and then there are so many platforms where you are getting bombarded with the information that yes, you have to do this, you have to do that, to be good in this you have to be this way, to be good in this you have to be good in that way, whatever. So I want to tell you that, guys, trust me, it is all bullshit, it is all bull crap. Firstly, if you decide that yes, I want to be in a great B school, of course, you need to study, of course, you need to do it, but you need to keep it simple. Let me tell you this thing and on record, MBA entrance examination is the easiest entrance examination you can ever face in India, because the kind of questions asked, the number of seats are available in various top-notch colleges is way better than any other entrance examination in India, whether it's UPSC, MPSC, Bank PO, or any other entrance examination. I won't be even considering NEET and JEE because they are quite difficult to crack. And hats off to those students and those people who really score good in these examinations after putting in a lot of efforts. Now, coming back onto the point that how to do that. Firstly, you need to keep things simple. You need to understand that it is not difficult and set small targets for yourself, right? For example, let's say I'm in second year and I'm doing a 3 years graduation, or maybe I'm in third year, I'm doing a 4-year graduation, or maybe I'm already a graduate. Now I've decided that yes, I want to study MBA from or business from a great top-notch college so that I push my prospects to be in a great position, higher salary, higher pay package. That is what everybody wants, right? That is what everybody desires. So what you're going to do is you are going to set small targets for yourself. Okay, how you're going to set small targets for yourself, I'll tell you. You will start with only 30 minutes per day. Every day, 30 minutes, you're going to study, you're going to go through the books, whether it's English, quant, logic, okay. There are 3 topics which are usually asked in any MBA entrance exam: English verbal, quant, mathematics, logical reasoning, or puzzles, or whatever you want to call them. So these are the 3 parameters on which you will be gauged in any MBA entrance exam. So if I have decided that yes, I want to study MBA from a top-notch college, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to start with only 30 minutes per day. Trust me. 6 minutes, if you have 6 months for the MBA entrance exam, 30 minutes per day, that's it. Whether it could be in the morning, it could be in the afternoon, night, evening, whenever. 30 minutes daily. Out of these 30 minutes, 10 minutes I will focus on verbal, 10 minutes I will focus on quant, and 10 minutes I will focus on logical reasoning. You can easily get study material online. You can join any coaching class. There are so many platforms available. You can also get in touch with Ask MBA, because we also train students for MBA entrance exam. So these things can be done easily. So 30 minutes per day. And you're not going to get stressed. You're not going to get worried about the fact that it is difficult, because trust me, it is not. You will be getting this information that MBA entrance examination is difficult from two people, right? One is the person who didn't score good in MBA entrance exam, CAT exam, or whatever exam. Or the second is the coaching class. And both the people or both these parties are trying to either scare you or trying to justify that, yes, if it is a student, they are trying to justify that why they didn't get a great score because this examination is difficult. And if an MBA coaching class, if MBA entrance coaching class is telling you it's difficult, you need to do this, you need to do that, they are telling you there is a problem and they have the solution, they have the cure for that illness or sickness that is being difficult, or being in a situation where you cannot easily crack the examination. Trust me, you are going to be swamped by the information, and you're going to be in a situation where people are going to bombard you with so much of data information that yes, MBA entrance examination is difficult. I tried it for past 2 years, I tried it from 3 years, I didn't get this score, I didn't get that score. Yes, you listen to them. Even if you do not want to listen to them, you do not have any other option, because you are going to be around these people. You're going to come across these situations, these people who didn't score good, or the coaching classes. So the first is, you're going to keep things simple. You will listen to them, but you do not get affected by them. Yeah, I know it is easier said than done. So the biggest suggestion I always give to my students at Ask MBA whenever I'm training and teaching them, that you need to be consistent. 30 minutes per day is more than sufficient if you have 6 months. And if you have more than 6 months, target 3 hours per week. Trust me, if you have more than 6 months, let's say 8 or 9 months, 3 hours per week. But then these hours are going to be the time when these hours or these moments are going to be the time when you are not going to be on social platforms. You're not going to get disturbed. These are the time, or this is the moment when you're going to be focusing completely on that context. One more reason that why people find it difficult or they lose the scope or interest, because they set up huge targets for themselves and they try to match those expectations from themselves. You know why we are sad? We are sad not because someone expects from us, because we expect so much from ourselves, and that is good. And I'm absolutely with that point that we should expect a lot from us. Even I expect a lot from myself, but at the same time, you are not going to get pressurized by that expectation of yourself, or maybe your family members, who is going to say what, how people are going to perceive me if I'm not going to get success and whatnot. So you're not going to do that, right? You are going to stick to a process, and the process is being consistent. You are going to study 30 minutes per day if you have 6 months or so, and if you have more than 6 months, like 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, target 3 hours per week. It's little less than 30 minutes per day, but 3 hours per week. And then at this time, you will focus on what kind of questions are asked, what is anticipated and judged and gauged by the entrance examination. The second most important suggestion I give you is that find a perfect guide or mentor or a teacher for yourself, a person who will relaxes your nerves, calms your nerves, rather than scaring you, rather than making things difficult for you. But then you need to listen to that. You need to take responsibility of your entrance examination performance. You cannot simply say that the examination is difficult, or I was involved in some other exam, maybe my graduation or whatnot. Trust me, the situation is similar for everyone. There are students who score good by preparing, by the time they are in the second year, third year, or maybe they are working. So you need to take responsibility of yourself. So this is the point. Try to compete with yourself and reward. For example, let's say if for 1 week I stuck perfectly, I was following the procedure, I was not getting deviated, and I was preparing for the MBA entrance examination 30 minutes per day, I'm going to reward myself. I might buy something for myself. I'm going to set a target that if I stick to a schedule, what I've decided for myself, and if I do that, I will reward myself by buying a gadget for myself, or maybe buying a clothing or shoes or whatnot, or maybe whatnot. Anything that makes you feel good, anything that your mind is going to get good, feel good about if you're going to reward yourself. So you're going to do that, right? So the trick lies in setting small targets and sticking to those small targets. Now let's say, for instance, that maybe because of some reason you didn't stick to your target. You're not going to panic. You're not going to give up. You're going to start following the schedule, what you have decided from yourself from the very point you realize that yes, you have missed out. Let's say I've decided that 30 minutes per day or 1 hour per day or maybe 3 hours per week I'm going to do. I did it for maybe 3 or 4 months, but then I lost the track. You are not going to do that. Okay, now I have lost the track, now I cannot get a great score. I'm not going to get a decent score. You are going to come back. You're going to start again. You're again going to follow the process from wherever you want to start, or from the point that yes, now I can be sincere and consistent again. You're not going to give up giving an excuse to yourself that now I have missed the pattern, now the time is less, I cannot do it. You're not going to give excuses to yourself. When we give excuses to others, we are not giving excuses to others, but rather we are giving excuses to ourselves. We are giving reasons to ourselves that why we didn't score good in an MBA entrance exam, why it was difficult and challenging for me to not score in the MBA entrance exam. So the point which I want to raise here is that you are not going to give excuses to yourself by doing the simplest things, set small targets, and know and understand your weakness. Maybe you are not great in verbal, maybe you struggle in mathematics, okay? But then there are so many topics in mathematics, like you have arithmetic, you have algebra. If you are weak in English, I'm sorry, you have to find a plan of action. You need to work on your communication skills and on your verbal skills, because if you want to be a manager, that is something you cannot do without. Maybe you are not great in one aspect of quant, but you are still able to get a qualifying score in quant section. But verbal section is not going to forgive you. Forget about that. By any way, even if you make the cut in the entrance examination, what are you going to do in the interview, guys? Your confidence is going to pull you back, okay? Because you need to push you want your confidence to push you forward rather than pulling you back, and that is only possible if you acknowledge your mistakes rather than just knowing your mistakes. I know that this is my mistake, so do not simply know your mistake. Work on your mistake, acknowledge your mistake, work on it. Acknowledge your limitations and do not fight them, okay? Now let's say that I'm not good in certain thing, okay? Or maybe I'm a person who cannot get up early. Fine. Then I'll be making sure that before I sleep late at night, I'll study for some time. Maybe I'm a person who gets up early in the morning and I cannot be productive after 5 p.m. Then I'm going to make sure that in the morning I'll fix those 30 minutes somewhere in my daily schedule where I'm going to focus, study, and I'm going to keep things simple. Everything boils down to one thing, guys, that you need a mentor, you need a guide, a faculty, and you need to listen to that person. You need to keep your ego aside. The reason why nowadays it is quite difficult and challenging for we faculties to train or groom a person or a student, because their ego comes in between. We know all people, everybody knows everything. You cannot pour tea in a saucer where it is already filled. There is a saying that you cannot fill a cup which is already filled. So you need to unlearn some things, you need to rectify your errors, you need to respect the person who is in the industry and knows better than you, and work on that. That's it. It is not about studying hard, it is not about doing so many things, it is only about one thing: being consistent and sticking to a schedule, sticking to a routine. And trust me, if you do that, you're going to get a great score. Now this is it. This is Ashish at ASK MBA. I train at ASK MBA. I'm a verbal faculty and I also teach logic. And of course, if you're listening to this on a podcast of Babaji Ka Gyan, please make sure that you listen to this whenever I post. I'm trying to do it as much as I can. And yes, thank you. Stay blessed. Till then, we meet again.